Double espresso? Mandatory. So you want to shoot portraits, but you don't know where to find models. I've been there. When I first started out like 10, 12 years ago, I had no connections, no portfolio, and no idea how to ask people to shoot. So this video, as much as it's made for you, it's really made for the younger version of me that is just starting out in my photography career 10, 12 years ago as a late teenager. I had no idea where to start, where to find models, so if this is you, then this video is yours. Alright, let's not waste any more time. Number one, and this is the most important, one more sip. Number one, most important, put yourself out there. The world is a big place, and if no one knows you're a photographer, how are they supposed to want to shoot with you? My recommendation here, post your work. Even if it's just of family or friends or self-portraits of yourself, post your work. Of course, in a day and age of social media, I'm gonna recommend places like Instagram, Facebook, X or Twitter, Threads, and Reddit. For me, I think Instagram is the most powerful, and on that platform, use things like Reels, posts, even stories to say that you're looking for people to collaborate with and take photos of. But Facebook is also a really good tool, even though it might seem a bit outdated now. There are a ton of Facebook groups on every single subject, every single topic, every single place in the world. You want to look for different Facebook groups like, well, I'm from Toronto, so maybe Toronto Creatives or Aspiring Models and Photographers. Different groups that like-minded people are going to be in. These typically act as really good, safe spaces and also very aligned spaces for you as a photographer to go into and ask around and see who might be interested to shoot. And Reddit, one of my personal favorites, is a fantastic place to find like-minded individuals on almost every single subject matter in the world. These are called subreddits. There's going to be subreddits for the city that you live in, there's going to be subreddits for different subject matter like photography, modeling, portrait photography, and everything in between. Now on these subreddits, same thing as Facebook and Instagram, you can post on there asking people to shoot. Which all leads me to my next point, point number 2, confidence is key, and I need some espresso. We're back. The reality is, no matter how good you are at photography, most people are not going to come to you first. You have to be the one reaching out to them. Now, yes, along the way, you will get ignored. You will get declined. You will get a ton of no's, but that's all part of the process because through that process, the right people will say yes. In all honesty, I've worked with many models in the past where the relationship between me and them was not fully committing. You can tell that one of us fully didn't want to be there, and that's not going to result in the best possible work anyways. As much as you are all in as a photographer, you want your models to be all in as models as well. And yes, this might sound cliche, but fake until you make it. When it comes to confidence and sounding professional, you want to use all of the tools at your disposal. ChatGPT, Google Gemini, all of these new tools are really helpful to craft very professional and confident messages when posting online and looking for models to shoot with. And now the online part is easy. Like I said, all those tools that we have at our disposal today make the online portion of all this really easy. But the tough part is point number 3, networking at events and different things in person. Now, I have the privilege of living in a very big metropolitan city here in Toronto, but even if you live in a smaller city or smaller town, I guarantee you there are some sort of events going on, maybe not directly related to photography, but something related to something that you might want to shoot. And if that's not the case, there's also probably just general networking events that are also very helpful to build up your confidence and professionalism when speaking to people in real life. So if you can, go to your local photography meetups, creative networking events, or even model workshops. I know this sounds like a lot, but I promise you this is why I'm spending such a big amount of time on this topic. The in-person confidence that you have to build to work with models is very important. And yes, a big goal of these interactions is to actually convert them into real shoots, but that's not the only thing you want to care about. You want to take note of how you're presenting yourself. How professional are you? How confident are you? Did you walk into the room with a smile on your face? Did you come off a bit shy or a bit scared, or did you come across a bit pompous and arrogant? Even to this day, after hundreds if not thousands of in-person events that I go to all the time, I'm always taking stock of how I think I performed to then improve for the next time. And the reason this is so crucial is because first impressions are everything. Even if in that moment it might not convert to an actual shoot, those people, the faces that you meet, they will remember you in the future if you make it memorable for them. So again, back to that fake it till you make it statement, you want to feel confident and display confidence in your abilities to shoot really nice portraits. Now, the best scenario out of all of this is to find other beginner models, because they are a beginner and you are a beginner, which means both of you could benefit from working together. And genuinely, from experience, I've gotten the most exposure and the most jobs from events that aren't even specifically photography or model related. Most of the time, it's from me just presenting myself in a way that people will want to work with me when the time comes in the future. Whether I meet somebody at a coffee shop or an event for a clothing store or just like a generic networking meetup in Toronto, yes, your talent and abilities as a photographer are important, but first and foremost, they want to like you as a person. Next up, and this is a really important one, so come close and maybe take some notes here, just ask. I know. Crazy, right? On most social media platforms, the easiest way to ask somebody to shoot is to shoot them a direct message. Something as simple as, hey, I'm a photographer and I love your look. Would you be down to do a creative shoot together? I would love to collab. Whatever message you send, you want to make sure that it is direct, concise, to the point, and mutually beneficial for both parties. Now again, expect some rejections. You are going to get a bunch of no's. Even today, I probably get 9 no's for every 1 yes, but that doesn't mean I don't ask. Which leads me to my next point, and this is probably the only type of negative comment I get on any of my YouTube videos. You want to approach everything we're talking about here today with confidence and kindness, and not creepiness. Now, if you're some keyboard warrior out there who thinks that because I'm a male photographer shooting female models in things like swim or lingerie, that is inherently creepy, that is where the biggest misconception with all of this portrait photography comes from. You as a photographer have to be honest with yourself with how you're approaching your work. Ideally, not in a creepy way. And it should go without saying, but don't do any type of portrait work if your intention is anything but to create beautiful portraits and beautiful art. And so no matter what kind of portraits you shoot, whether it's a man in a suit and tie or a female in a swimsuit, the approach is always the same. And that initial interaction, that initial reach out, how you ask matters. Just straight up be upfront about your intention to create cool art together. And try your best to avoid any messaging that may seem vague or could be misinterpreted, like you look great in front of my camera, winky face. Instead, just be clear and professional. And if someone's not interested, move on and don't pressure them. There will always be more models to find and collaborate with in the future. I distinctly remember way back, the very first message I ever sent was actually in a Facebook group in my university's graduating class Facebook group the first year of university. And it was exactly what we've been talking about in today's video. It was basically me saying, hey, I'm a photographer, I go to this school, I would love to collaborate with people looking to model and take some portraits with. If you're interested, send me a message. And I think I actually attached like 4 images to that post, and none of them were portraits because I hadn't done a lot of portraits prior to that. But genuinely, that steamrolled everything. I think I got like 3 or 4 requests to do portraits, and at the time, I was stoked. I did every single portrait session I possibly could to get as much experience under my belt. Now, were these models like the best models to work with ever? Definitely not. They were all amateurs, but so was I. We all have to start somewhere, and as you build your portfolio, build up your expertise, and build up your network, the better high-level clients, the better high-level models will come. So all in all, put yourself out there. Have the confidence, network, ask, and always be respectful. If this helped at all or you resonate with any of the points in this video, make sure to leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you, and if you're still stuck on this, send me a DM on IG and I will definitely reply to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button, but until next time, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.